This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Somebody, please give me a text. Give me a text.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Assurance Home Care, Burger King, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
My heart is halfway out the harbor. Stop that mailboat. Stop that mailboat.
Good afternoon, good day, how are you? It's a Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Yes, this is your boy Pearly in the house, and again, it is so good to be here with you. I hope everybody is well. It was feeling a little warmish today. Don't let that fool you, though. That's the sun is bright. That's it. But you know, we got lots to talk about. All kind of things happening out there. Let's talk about it. I want to know what you think. I'm appalled by some of the things I've seen, but you got to be talking heads, and there's a simple way to do that.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
You pick up your phone, simple, 323-6232. That's 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4316, or 325-4259, 325-4259. And then you could call toll-free 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. People don't like to call them, they just want text, fine, no problem. It's powered by BTC, 422-4796, 422-4796. Let's talk, let me hear what you got to say. Let's look at the headlines. And something new for Burley today, we can look at the headlines of the Tribune today as well. Because we'll do the Tribune first, and we get to the flagship.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
And here we go. In the Tribune, we caught police planting drugs. Video footage allegedly shows officer prior to arresting two men. New $700 million Bahama expansion will bring 500 permanent jobs. Davis, Fox asks for PLP seat just days before joining the Free National Movement. Interesting. What's going on in the Guardian? Let's see what's up in the Guardian today, and here we go. Bahama breaks ground on new $700 million project. 1,000 jobs expected during construction phase. Davis tells Grand Bahamians to come back to the PLP. Why couldn't I say that with a straight face? PM says Fox sought PLP nomination days before F&M ratification. Pintard, Minnis made an unwise choice. That's what I want you to tell me. Did he make an unwise choice? Is that being selfish? Are the police getting themselves in problems again? In the business section, BCA wants government to appoint contractors board. Association said contractors need to be licensed. SCB warns against the long con for Valentine's Day. Integra to assist with building Black Point Community Center. And I could say that with a straight face. There you have it. There you have it in the headlines. Interesting. And two things popped out to me right away. And one that has really got me upset. I saw the video. That's going around, which allegedly shows an officer dropping something. I saw the video where they came back and another officer said, hey, picked it up. That don't look good. And it's not a good thing. And it tells us where we're going as a country. Does that? Been our police? And I do hope that is a good explanation for that. I do hope it is not what it looks like, but it's hard to say it's not. And I'm not saying it is. I'm not condemning anybody. I'm not doing anything. I said that tape just don't look good. That don't look good. Hot topics out there, you know. Pinta Minnis has this, Dr. Eubin Minnis, former leader of the Free National Movement and former Prime Minister, say he running independent. Mr. Pinta said that's not a wise move. Personally, I have to agree with Mr. Pintard on that. I can't see that going well for him or the FNM, I believe, but more so for him. You become that elder statesman. Don't do this to your legacy. Don't do this to your legacy. Boy, I don't know. But you're going to think. Then the PLP, the Prime Minister, says that Mr. Fox came to him looking for nomination. Mr. Fox said he only applied to one party. That don't sound like I wasn't for you anyway. So you did come and ask me first. Like when you were children and somebody picks someone over you and you get vexed and you say, I wasn't. That's what it looked like to me. Call and take, if you want to call it petty, that's what it looked like to Pearlie. Text. Good day, Pearlie. It doesn't mean, I'll get another text, block that text. It doesn't mean a MP does good and their constituency means he will win his seat. If a husband treats his wife well, but makes her sick, would she stay with him? What I mean by this is the government do specific things like giving the people local government and freedom of information. People could vote against them regardless what the MP did for the area. Pearlie, it's time for you to get 3-day show. Dwight Strachan, that's how you call. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hi, Pearlie.
Hi, Pearlie L. How you doing, my dear?
Right here, I'm very much interested in all the headlines today. That's some headlines, man.
Tell me.
But, you know, talking about Rick Fox, he did mention that he was talking to all the major parties. He wanted to get a feel for, I guess, the ideas or whatever it is that they
fit his ideals, fit his ideals, or that he fit their ideals. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did say that he was talking to everybody. So I don't know. I guess my very good Prime Minister is probably starstruck. I don't know. He's showing off that he got to speak to him. I don't know if that's what he's trying to say.
No, I think I don't know. It give me like, you know, when we were small, when you get mad at somebody, I wasn't interested in being with you anyway. I didn't want to play with you. Exactly,
because like Mr. Fox made it no secret that he was not taught. He said so. He's speaking because he's not quite familiar with all of the inner workings of the party. So he did share himself around to get ideas. So that's not no why. So he want to say, he only going there because we didn't want him.
That's what. Yeah, and the thing about it is, if we listen to on this very same station, Talking Heads with Naughty on, I think it was November 19th. Rick Fox was on the show that day and basically bared his whole heart out and told everything that was going on and said exactly what he was doing. So it's no new news coming out. You know, you be just thinking people ain't listening and people don't remember.
See, that's the whole point. They pray that we don't remember. So when we go to the poll, we can give him like the lady, I'm disappointed in her, who was saying, this is not the party of my father. I forget her name. You know, but come at you for war. Come at you, who listen, no disrespect. Listen, please don't cut me off when I say this. No disrespect to Grandpa, but Grandpa should go home, get a rocking chair and recliner. And when remember on the island, them old people get them pipe and put it on the side of them old puff. Get a puff pipe. Sit in a rocking chair, rock back, cross your leg, and enjoy your retirement. Take over. What is it? What is it? You had enough? Go home.
Yeah, I agree. You know, that's not before you let's go. You know, that's a issue I've seen throughout the country, and I made a mention of it years ago about the softball players traveling. 40-year-old men still want to travel with the national team, and still think they could do what these young boys can do and don't want to give it up. And I saw a lot of that, and I'm seeing a lot of that. We don't want. It's time to allow the next generation.
And that's a serious thing in this country. That's why we have so many young people is finding it very difficult to find the job that they went to college and spent all that money for. Because why? The retirees are coming back. Now, I understand we need them. We do need some of them to come back and help to show, because everything you learn in a book.
No, but they're not. No. See, I hear what you're trying to say, and I can cut you off right there, and I can tell you why. We don't train each other. We do not like to impart our knowledge down to others.
That's why I was saying.
And so you bring them back. They still ain't gonna teach. They still ain't gonna teach the people because they won't hold on. You need me.
Exactly. This is the problem now. This is the problem now. I know of somebody who put a job, and somebody younger showed more initiative and was able to get the management position. They quit their job.
That means you weren't doing what you're supposed. You can't be doing a lot. I've been here 20 years. I deserve this. What have you done to deserve it? I was at a particular place, and because I started giving some people some movement. I've been here all these years. Yeah, but you're still doing the same thing. You didn't do anything. Did you go back to school? Did you improve on this? Did you work on anything else? No.
But guess what? I was in a fast food service where that happened, where they was offering classes, and I run and I took all.
Yeah.
I can't afford to pay for them, so I took them. And guess what? HR person was upset with me and said, I just reached here. Where am I trying to go? I told her, I was told it was in the promotion don't depend on the amount of years you put in. It depends on your ability.
Exactly.
You understand me? So I don't understand what we need to have a transition process for the new incoming prime minister. Like how we say, okay, Michael Pintard go in, right?
Uh-huh.
So from now, even though if he might or might not, it doesn't matter. From now, him and Mr. Davis should be working hand in hand. Get some ideas, know what is going on, get to learn the programs that he's doing, the stuff that he's implementing. See what you could work with and see what you can.
That happen not to make. They do that not, but I ain't doing that for you to make me look better, make you look better than me. No, babe.
That's bad idea.
That's what they can say. No, I only join. I mess with you a little bit by doing it like that. But
I know what you mean.
I always believe if you teach the person under you and you make them look good, that makes you look good as a good teacher and a good mentor. That do mean if you doing your job well and you teaching, you ain't nobody gonna overpass you. Nobody gonna pass you.
No, and guess what? You will never know the person can turn around and say, you know what? Let me give thanks to Pearlie.
Yep.
Because he was the one that, you understand me?
Yep.
We need to stop that, though.
We can get there. All right. Take care. Got another text here. Pearlie, let Minnis do his own political suicide. Minnis wants to go out in shame and disgrace. Oh, boy. Says, good day. Sorry to tell you, but the police have been planting guns and drugs on people allegedly for years and years. This is why you don't trust them, and no one should give them access to your cameras because they'll be the same ones to set you up to get robbed, corruption from the head to the toe. That's a very strong text, Dexter, and I'm not saying that there are good police officers out there, and I know a number of them. There are very good police officers out there, very honest and hard-working police officers. So I can't let you say all from the head to the toe because I don't know that. There are some bad apples in there, and it needs to be dealt with, but for the most part, the police officers are good young men and women dedicated to protecting this country and dedicated to working for the people of this country. So, I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them, and I've seen a lot of them, and I know how they work. A couple of them grew up in my house, so I know. Pearlie, why only one maritime agency allowed to do lightering in the Bahamas, ship-to-ship transfer, PLP backers? It ain't fair, bro. Now that, I read that. I ain't quite understand what that means. So Dexter, you got to call me to explain that one to me, so I know how to respond to that. Call you on the air. How you doing?
April. Doing great.
Hey, you called for me today or yesterday?
No, didn't call at all.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. Listen, the caller before, it's something that she says to many of us that is wishful thinking, and actually I, too, was one of those who put it out in the atmosphere where we would like to see the maturity in our political system whereas an outgoing prime minister perhaps would help the incoming prime minister. And with as far as nation building is concerned, we are so divided as a people. When you look at places like China, where regardless, they have a 50-year plan and don't care how you want to shift or maneuver that plan. That plan remains as it is because you can follow that plan. We have division whereas, when I said most of the things is basically nation building, where we supposed to be advancing as a people and not being divisive as because we belong to different political groups. And in the current framework that we have we'll never see that here unless we have a total mind shift or people of a total mind shift that understands that, hey, a political party is a political party government. But when it comes down to the sanctity, sovereignty, and the advancement of the Bahamian people, we have to become matured enough to understand that we are here to help each other. Now, she mentioned the difference between the help between, let's say, Brave Davis exits this political time frame, and Michael Pintar then comes in as the incoming prime minister. To sit down and rationally decide how we still. Yes, I'm the former prime minister. We had some ideas on the table that we didn't share with you guys before, but this is now about country. Let's sit down and map out a strategy to do this and then find out what they have in common to move the country forward. But it would be
fantastic.
Not
I don't know any country does that. I really don't.
No, neither do I. But Pearly, the bottom line here is, like I said, once a country sets its goals and its plan and it etch it for the next 25, 40, 50 years, it's very rare you see them shift from it. And that's something we do not have. We only have 5-year plans,
But I do know when election time comes. Now, when the week before election, every department, I can't remember what it's called, but they're supposed to write this report as to what you've been doing, what was your success, where fire, and there's a report that the incoming minister, the incoming director, gets this report, and I can't remember the name of it, and they get to read and see what was happening in that ministry. Because when I was at OPM, I had to do that, contribute to the report for the department I was in, so you know what was going on and what they did over the last few years. So at least that much is done.
If that is the norm today,
that is the norm. It was done in 2021 when I was at OPM. That is the norm. I can't remember. Oh, maybe somebody could text me what the name of that report is, but it's a report that you have to give in.
Well, I just close on this one.
Handover notes. There you go. It's called handover notes.
Handover notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to give these handover notes, which explains what you've been doing and everything. So when you hear Minister get up and say they don't know, they ain't read. Okay.
Well, I'll close on this one note, Pearly, and this is why now it makes the proceedings in Parliament much more interesting, because there are things that is discussed in there where the opposition would say, well, they are not aware of details or they're not aware of the criteria used in order for the current administration, and I'm saying current, not this particular one, but any
current
administration that has been in governance. We don't have the full details on how these things was agreed upon, why they decided to go in this direction, so on and so forth.
Freedom of information.
The time has come when that must change, because we are not advancing in the manner that this country is supposed to advance.
But the freedom of information already in place to do that, they just choose to ignore it.
Oh, well, see, that's another thing again. And now yet you expect the Bahamian people, who too, by and large, have been asking for this Freedom of Information Act. Not saying that you're going to still get everything that you want from it, because if some things will be redacted, some things will be concealed, some things you still won't know, but you would have sufficient still to make a logical
start.
Here's what I need to add as a Bahamian citizen to see if this is going to yield some beneficial fruit for the Bahamas and the Bahamian people by large. But let's continue to see how this process is going to go. But all I'm saying is, where we are today compared to what I know and what I feel the first administration really intended, we are far off target.
Amen.
And we are a first world country, and but we are third world thinking. That's all I can say. Thanks for taking
my brother. Thank you very much. Text says, good, that's some bad typing. Good day, Pearly. Successive planning is what lacking in government. Successive planning. I agree. Good day. Teachers only look good if their students go on to be as good or better than them. You got a point there. That's why you teach, to impart knowledge. Many persons have been brain damaged. Many of them have little known skills, and a government job is their only hope and goal. And yes, hand over notes. Thank you so much, Dex. I couldn't remember that. I couldn't remember that if you beat me. Pearly, let's be real. You sound like you have my good son syndrome. Out of all the police I dealt with, only one. Look at how many are involved in crime presently. Before experiencing, I thought police were the best. But now I get anxiety when I see police. I actually think I have PTSD from all my dealings with them as a female. I do not feel safe in this country knowing that they can be anything they feel like. And I mean anything. Ooh. One last one. I come during that caller. Good day, Pearly. And if the PM and DPM lose their seats in islands, then who will you think will be the next PM? Guess a younger man who don't answer to all the nasty slurs, just like little David. Call you on the air. How you doing? I quite understand that text. But anyway, call you on the air. How you doing? Hello.
Good evening, Pearly. How you doing?
I'm ready, my brother. What's up?
You know, Pearly, there was a time when, I could say it like this, when all the black people in this country was PLP. Everybody, if you was black, you was PLP.
Not all. A lot. Not all. A lot.
The Dissident 8 didn't come till after independence.
Okay. All right. No, but there was some black UBPs. There was some black UBPs before the Dissident 8.
Yeah, I know there was black. But you know, there was also black Uncle Toms.
Go ahead, my brother.
Time too.
Go ahead, my brother.
Some black fellas used to be up to the master house.
Yeah.
Come out in the horse with the whip and beat you if you ain't picking enough cotton.
Where you going with this, Baki? Talk to me.
What I'm saying, I've been hearing lately between the PLP and FNM. Most of the FNMs now were PLP. Hubert Ingram was a PLP, became an FNM prime minister. Think about all the things that happened in my 74 years. Okay?
Uh-huh.
They've even been informed by FNMs and PLP who've been on these different boards, like the licensing authority, right? One of the guys who's not there no more, but is a stalwart counselor.
No name. Easy. It's alleged.
Alleged. When he was on the board, it was against the law to have a bar next to a school. It was against the law to have a bar next to a church. Now, if you go to Cordova Avenue, there's a number house and a bar right behind the little children's school, right next door to Miss Gladys Harden headquarters. And the cars park up on the sidewalk to the school to go to the number house, where the little children supposed to walk when they come from school, to and from school. They supposed to walk on the sidewalk. The police car, the police truck, the car's on the sidewalk, and they over in the number house playing numbers and buying Guinness. And the children got to walk out in the road around the cars on the sidewalk to get to school. All of this is against the law.
Yes.
And through every corner you go now, there's 4 and 5 Chinese bars. Where all these Chinese coming from and all this liquor? They got a Chinese on Wolf Road that sell wholesale, retail, clothes, and food in the same place.
Sparky, this is nothing new that has been talked about, and nobody answering the questions on it. But we'll get to the bottom of it.
We got 27 shanty towns in Nassau and New Providence, and nobody seems to know where they is. The defense force don't know.
Well, how do they know? Wait, first of all, how do they know it's 27 if you ain't know where it is?
But we know there's 27 shanty towns in New Providence.
How you know it's 27 if you don't know where they at? Thanks, Baki. That's like those of us who used to watch Star Trek say they go on a 5-year mission to go where no man has gone before, but every time they go somewhere they meet people. Or they don't consider men naked and aliens. I mean, just digress. I do apologize. Call you on there. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, right here, brother.
Buddy,
yes, sir.
Watch this now.
I watch.
When you look at the two parties in the United States, right?
The Republicans and the Democrats. They had a Green Party too.
There's a clear difference, right? That every election cycle, all through the year, it's always a debate, and wherever It's about taxation. Who is taxing the rich? Right?
That's one of their campaign arguments. Yes, that's one of them. Yes.
So why you have them same issues? Why you think it's not possible? Do you have two left legs?
No, but we have them. They have those discussions, and people just don't pay attention to them. There's been a big discussion about how VAT was zero on things, and then they put it on 10%, and they drop it 5%, and they take it to 0, and they say the F and M take it from 7 to 12. There's all kind of talk about that.
I mean, major tax. I talking about income tax, them type of thing, type of taxes.
That conversation was had too, saying should we consider having an income tax?
So these parties, they are on the same side of this issue.
Not necessarily. I think depends on who's there in economic. Some of the economists are considered seriously having that discussion. It's a discussion that cannot be ducked for a long period of time, and it will have to come up eventually. So they can fight it all they want now. It coming.
Okay, so what I'm saying is neither of them has bought income tax, nor corporate tax, nor health insurance tax. None of these taxes.
Well, what you think NIB is? That's health insurance tax.
Health insurance, NIB is not sufficient. It's not mandatory. Okay. It's not health tax.
Well, you can get if you die, you get benefit. If you get sick, you can get industrial benefits. You can get maternity benefits from it. That's health, and NHI is tied to that to some degree.
That's the debates what needs to be happening.
Okay.
Where is sufficient tax enough? If you say that we have a health tax in the United States,
I'm calling it that NIB is national insurance, but I'm saying it's a tax. It's coming out your money.
Okay, so one more thing I need to ask you. Have you personally read the Epstein files? Any portion of the Epstein?
I've seen some stuff. Yeah, I've seen some of it. Yes.
I mean, you personally.
Yes, I've seen what has been. No, I don't have access, but what has been released, I've read.
See, what has been released?
There are millions of documents that have not been released yet.
Right. So out of the ones that have been, so you know how to access it. You know how to go in the search engine.
No, actually, people who've searched it and they say, look at this, and they send it to me, but I've not taken the time to go personally to research it. I mean, if I have to, I can do, but I've not taken the time to do that.
Okay, so watch this now. This is a death scene. I've done it.
Okay.
Okay, so I Google, just like you put in the search engine, a particular name and everything in the Epstein files that has been released about that person is there.
Okay.
Right? So when you Google the names that they say that the media says in the Epstein files, right?
Understood.
When you Google them, when you put them in the search engines in the Epstein file search engine, you will have the file that pertains to the file release and you know what I mean? They're mentioned.
I understand.
It's there.
Okay.
So when you need to do that, then you would see how these people are mentioned.
Okay, I'll do that. Anyway, I got a couple more callers and I got to take a break. So I'll do that. I think callers don't go anywhere. Hold firm. We can take a quick break. When we get back, we'll take these callers. Don't go anywhere, caller. We'll take you in a second. Let's take a quick break. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. Just hold firm. We'll be right back. Like them young people talk.
As the sun is dawning, I go to the well to get my water today. Get my wood from the bush to make my tea and eat my bread till I fill my belly. Then I get ready to go outside and play.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape. A Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
And good afternoon, good day. Welcome back to our Talking Heads Thursday. This Burley in the house. Let's read a couple of texts quick and get right to you, caller. The PM shelved the completed plan for a second critical care block in response to the U.S. China said the Bahamas request them to build a new hospital. The government make believe that China was offering them something. The PLP cannot be trusted with a block of cheese. Hey, Pearly, so the police was caught on video planting drugs on young black people in Jamaica. That's it's alleged. The video don't look good. The video does not look good. Last text, a good day. And what is laughable is how these entitled people who've been ranking in politics forever and a day saying they going on to the PLP to make their names relevant. I think these people trying to drag Papa and Mama's shoes to cause the dead to roll over in their graves. Man, why people can't ride on their own name and seriously say what they were pretending to be during the whole time. Dated product. Caller, you are on the air. How you doing? Interesting.
How you doing?
Hey, my brother, I'm right here.
Tell Sparky, don't blame the Chinese. Blame us Laos, behaving people who rent them their license our building.
Yep.
Sell our stuff for a couple of dollars. That's what they know the Chinese. Because Chinese don't come in with liquor license. They behave in liquor store, own them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Call you on there. There you go, caller. How you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, brother. How you doing, brother?
Right here, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to hear Sparky voice again, Mike.
Yeah, once Sparky,
I haven't heard him in a while, you know.
once he behave himself, once he behave and don't, be good.
Yeah, man. It was just good to hear him,
Yeah, I'm glad to hear him.
But really, man, I haven't seen the video what you're talking about with the police officers, right? But that's some troubling information, Because, I mean, people already have this distrust, right? And now it's been reinforced.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had an experience once, and because it was odd because, the officer said, well, I ain't going to do that to you this time, Rasta. It was a situation, and when I drove up, I realized what he was talking about.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? And I mean, it's a situation just like that. And I was grateful that he didn't do it because what could I have done?
Yeah. They ain't mine, and they can say, they ain't going to believe you when you say they ain't yours.
You understand where I'm coming from? I mean, what could I say?
Yeah.
So you can imagine the amount of individuals whom have faced situations like that.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? And the distrust in the force is a serious thing, but
and that's it's not just a serious thing. That's scary because now where do we go from here? It ain't good.
Scary. It's scary. Because I'm not going to talk about the other situations that I've faced with some officers, but like you said, there are good officers on the force. I've had interactions. You know what I mean? They're all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some good guys, and some of them I know. Some of them call me pops, so I know.
Yeah, but they need to understand that if they are in an organization that's supposed to be dealing with law enforcement and integrity or whatever, then they got to check their co-workers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have to understand that even though they may be good officers, that if the prevailing concept or understanding of them from the public is what it is, that they're going to be painted with the same brush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I say, if you don't want to risk being painted with the same brush, and on top of that too, those type of actions are not supposed to be within that force. You're supposed to fight against that and try to purge, because you know exactly what's going on inside there. You have a better idea of who's who than we are.
Yeah.
And we do.
Yeah.
But I want to address something that Jeff said quickly.
Okay.
When Jeff was talking about how the country doesn't have like these plans, like these, these visions of years and years. We do have one. We do have one.
National Development Plan. The National Development Plan.
Yeah, but I want you to try to conceptualize what I'm about to say to you too. We do have one.
Okay.
You see, we do have one, and see, the thing about this is that because we need to understand that this party politics ain't gonna solve our problems. Because just like how you were saying that politics all over the world, people don't get together and decide are sincere about what they're doing.
True.
Right? You know what I mean? The opposition party and the ruling party should be able to come together and form decisions that are in the best interest of the people. But for some reason, it ain't happening. And I mean, for some reason, no matter which government go in, the only outcome is taxes. None of them putting in any laws that really benefit us, that really shows that they have sat down and tried to figure out some self-determination for us. The manifestos that they write are just words on paper. You understand where I'm coming from? Because they never materialize the things that they talk about inside the manifesto. But yet still, while they are in for their term, they still doing things. They still passing laws. They still make it, they still introducing these type things we never asked for, things popping up all over the place. And that's the point I want to get at, Pearly, is this. There is a plan for our country, but it is not from us. It's an international agenda. They have things called Agenda 30, and no matter who go in there, Pearly, like, for example, Pearly, you might be FNM on PLP, right? I go in there, right, and I rule. And when I go in my office, there's a list of things in my office mandated that I must pass by a certain period. So what I could do, I could sit and I could pick and choose which of these things on this list I could put through. It ain't my idea. You understand? So people only elect me to manage the country, and I mean, I'm not going there to change anything. And guess what, Pearly? When I get voted out and you get voted in, that same list, what I was looking at is what you could look at, and now you could choose on that list who we electing and their personal vision. Pearly, it's like you work to McDonald's, right? And we work to McDonald's, and we vote who could be the manager of this McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
And then when he's the manager of McDonald's, we expect him to change the menu. You understand?
I hear your point.
Something like that.
I hear your point.
Go there
Interesting. I hear your point.
So my point is this. So if we are men of integrity, Pearly, and if you conceptualize and understand what I just said to you, right, then you'll understand that party politics is not going to solve our problem, because no matter which party goes there, there's something there's a mandate that they pick from and they choose from, and that's why you'll find a party might be in opposition and they might stand firmly against something that the ruling party is pushing, right? And then when they come in, they push the same thing the party they were standing against, because it's an agenda.
Okay. So what do you suggest happen then?
You
say this ain't gonna fix it, so how do you fix it? How do you fix it? In a quick shot, because they get another caller, so you get...
Individuals like yourself, right, Pearly, should have long recognized that party politics is not us. It is not going to solve our problems, because here we have a bunch in town there year after year after year, and they just make the country.
So what should we do? What should we do?
We got to make sure that first of all, like I said before, like I always tell people, let's disclose what goes on in cabinet. Eliminate that secrecy in cabinet, because it is absolutely ridiculous for people who we elect to manage our country to talk about, they can go in the room and talk about our business, about our country, and we have no right to listen to what they talk about, and in cabinet is where all the decisions are made. So my number one thing right off the bat is to eliminate the secrecy inside cabinet, for one. Let's open up cabinet.
All right, I got to rank another caller waiting a little bit. I do appreciate it. Interesting stuff. Interesting. I don't know if I agree with everything, but it's interesting, and I'd like to sit down and talk to you a little more about that. But we'll get there, I promise you. Call you on the air. How you doing? So you're gone, caller. You couldn't wait for me. That's how you be living. Okay. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Yeah, give thanks, Pearly.
Hey, my brother, what's up?
Yeah, the last caller, Rasta Chris, was spot on. So, but the thing is, Pearly, as it relates to Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030, the United Nations, all of these things are entailed in the report from Iron Mountain. And so he was correct in talking about lack of oversight in government interactions with transnational companies and billionaires coming to discuss the public's business in private via the cabinet office, etc. That right now in the 21st century, That shouldn't be accepted. So in America, what they did was they passed something that called the Logan's Act. And so that made it illegal for any government official to meet with private entities to discuss the public's business. That one is over. So we see the lack of implementations everywhere, even with the freedom era. And so the question you ask them, what should we do? Civil disobedience in mass numbers. That's like having sex for me. That's like a hard on to me. That's what we need. And we need to stop the partisan politics, which is destroying the country. I would be ecstatic if I could get about 50,000 people in Rawson Square. I'd be the happiest man in the world. You know why? Because
so they come in, the 50,000 people come in Rawson Square to protest what?
That's what they need to see anyhow.
Help me understand. They come in to protest what? What is the protest?
I will get this thing quickly, Pearly.
Okay.
I will make this clear.
Go ahead, brother.
Number one, we shouldn't bash every police officer.
I agree.
But I say this. It's hard for an officer to be good, even if he is good on that police force, okay? Now, over the years, you could use the archives, not my little mouth. You could go and look at all the insubordinations from the various officers that reach the public. I'm not talking about what is hidden and obscured in the complaints and corruption unit, okay?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to be very naive. So I'm saying is, when I heard you reluctant to read a certain text or opine, what's on your mind? I was upset because what I'm saying is you're suggesting to me that we live in a police state where the police are allowed to do this and do that and the people can't speak out. So that makes us a police state. You see, there are many definitions for a police state, When we look at the lack of implementation, they've been promising us body counts, et cetera, et cetera. So now the recent incident, everybody saw on Facebook, 1 million people sent it to my phone. The question then becomes, there's a person dressed as a police. But we saw an incident in Maradona Estates some time back in which a young man accused them allegedly of moving a 9,000 during a search of his home.
Yeah.
And they went abruptly. So these things, did that go into oblivion? What's the outcome of that? And so I personally have had funds move from where, from the establishment. And so what I'm saying is doing a search for my other people who live in the yard. But what I'm saying is...
Understood.
They ran into the room with nobody there. So I had some money in a cow foot. And it was missing. And so what you trying to tell me? And there's many instances, they don't believe the police do this, they don't believe the police do that. What I'm saying is, Bertie, how long are we going to continue as people and talk we want to fight crime and we want to do this, but we're going to still live by the gospel according to the police? We saw what is depicted in this picture, right? So that is very frightening. So in the United States or a first world country that they really want to beat up corruption, right? What you turn on, all the cases that this officer was mixed up in should be reneged. And then the fact that this is going on, it creates a very dubious circumstance. And so who keeps drugs in their yard? That's what I'm saying. And so the fact that
and that close and where you find it too, exactly.
Yeah, but so he came there with officers who didn't pop. The other officers didn't know what he was doing,
Yeah.
So he just put it there and then he said, "Oh, come look what he finds." So what I'm saying is we need cameras. How long are you continue to live the gospel of the police? You're being very naive. We live in a police state when you cannot speak out. That's all I wanted to say. And it sickens me. It sickens me, man. It must stop.
I know the feeling, my brother.
To stop it, Pearly. Endangering us. Give thanks.
Give thanks, my brother. I understand his frustration. Pearly, you have a mothership that sits out at sea loaded down with fuel for different grades of different vessels, cruise ships, tugs, container ships. All go to that vessel out at sea to receive fuel. Is that true? One company has a monopoly, a PLP monetary backer. It's not fair, as they receive all the funds as if they are Buckeye Terminal or something. That's interesting. I got to follow up on that. That's some serious. I didn't know that, and I have to follow up on that. Hey, Pearly, please give Clay Sweeten a shout out to please fix this water problem so the kids can have a full day at school. And talking in Saudi Luther, I assume. But I hear every day, every single day, people complaining about what's going on in Eleuthera. Every single day. Oh, they're frustrated. And it got to get fixed at some point. It got to be fixed at some point because then people are frustrated. It'll probably get fixed like the week before election, but at least it'll get fixed. I shouldn't have said that, but there I said it. Yeah, that's all my text. But in listening to a lot of what people saying about the situation with the police, and I want to be clear on what Pearly has to say. I know, and it ain't my good son talk either. There are good police out there. I know some of them. Some personally, and some I've had interaction with. A lot wants to see good. I just have a question on, and the caller said it, if you know somebody there, is the person who influences your job. It could be, not saying they are, but you could be a corporal, it could be a superintendent, or it could be an inspector, and they outrank you. Is your word against them? It's hard. I understand it's hard. But I am afraid for the way the public will start and have been looking at the police. They don't trust police. That's not good, because we should be able to trust our police officers. We should be able to say, I break down on the airport road and the police car pass, I don't have to worry, I'm safe. If I'm a woman. You should be able to live and have police walking through the community and talking and talking to the kids and having in conversations and doing things what it takes to make the area safe. Now, a lot of these police don't know how to talk to you now. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how they do teach them that or that's in training, but they do not know how to talk to you. And that's one of the things that turns me off and pisses me off and makes me upset and angry, mad, whatever word you want to put there. How they talk to you. There's nothing wrong with being respectful, you know. You know, police car, what? What you this car? What is it? Come on, man. Then when you talk to the person like that and they respond to you in the same manner, you want to lock him up. But you ain't gonna talk down to me and I ain't gonna respond. And then you have police that come there and very respectful and they get all the information they need without an incident or problem. Now, I ain't saying you ain't got some stupid brothers out there and women, girls out there and guys and men and fellas out there carrying on bad and answer the police the minute they come in the wrong way. You got that. You got that, and that wrong. You got that. I know we got that. And that's wrong. But hopefully, I pray that we get to weed out the bad apples and that the reputation of the police force is held and put intact and that it grows because it's needed. It's the only way we can move in this country and for the fair crime and all that. Because then if you can't trust the police, who will you trust? Thank you so much for the calls. Thank you for the texts. Interesting 1 hour. Real interesting. When we get back, we can talk a little bit of sports. Pitches and catches report. Baseball's back. Some moves have been happening in talks around the NBA and the talks around the NFL. Winter Olympics. This is Pearly, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. We'll be back right after the news.
Never will understand why I'm bursting with pride. All I know is I'm glad you're mine, and my feelings can't hide. I can't sit down, and I'm spinning round, honey. Oh, look what you do to me. I'm in the mood, and I'm feeling good.
Forget them flower, forget them check. You know it's Tommy, get the respect. AP is hot, we sitting close. Breeze on your lip, that's how I know. You is my person, that ain't no secret. You share wing, I might keep it. Love buckets.
8 tasty pieces of chicken, thighs and legs for just $20. Add a large side for $5. This February, love deserves a bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Are you or someone you love in need of at-home care support? Maybe you require medication administration, mobility assistance, or post-surgical recovery support. Do you have a loved one who is suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia and need patient-centered support? Well, there's a caring, affordable, and trusted solution available for you. It's called Assurance Home Care. We have certified Bahamian nurses and caregivers, and we can provide both hourly or monthly rates. Call us now for a free consultation at 242-810-8995. At Assurance Home Care, we provide quality care you can trust right at home.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty and MJ is brought to you by Insurance Home Care, Burger King, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Pet Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
And welcome back to Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio. Sports Talk is where it's at. I saw something interesting just now, but let's get it today in sports history, and I can get to that interesting piece. Today is Thursday, February 12th, 2026, 2 days before Valentine's Day. In 1878, Frederick W. Taylor patented the baseball's catcher's mask. In 1879, the first artificial ice rink opened in North America. It was in Madison Square Gardens in New York City, New York. In 1880, the National Croquet League was organized in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1992, Wayne Gretzky tied the NHL record for points in the season when he got his 153rd point. In 1987, Bill Fitch became the fifth coach in NBA history to get 700 career wins. In 1989, Wayne Gretzky got his 45th career hat trick and achieved a 40-plus goal season for the 10th time in his career. In 1993, the San Jose Sharks lost their 17th straight game to tie an NHL record. In 1997, Kevin Johnson reached 1,000 career steals. And in 2002, baseball owners approved the sale of the Florida Marlins and the Montreal Expos. Sports quote of the day: you don't know what pressure is until you play for $5 with only $2 in your pocket. The great Lee Trevino. I heard him say that before, pro golfer. Yeah, some interesting stuff coming up, but let's get to the local scene. What's going on in the local scene? Some interesting things are going on in sports, and something I just saw that really got to me. But let's look at the local scene quick first, and then we'll get to that. 2 straight Giants senior boys, Saints senior girls win both second straight titles. And what's this? The Bahamas Association of Independent Schools, BIA, is headed to the Bishop Eldon Drive off St. John's College Giants. The Kingsway Camels could claim the same glory as the senior girls title. So, 2 straight. Saki in and that. Boy, no speeding. Reno accepts challenge from Williams. Mingos battle but fall to the Panthers. Interesting stuff. So what's going on out there? Everybody having their football DTs, their withdrawals, and worrying about things? Well, let's look at some interesting things. You all know Sam Darnold, the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, is actually paying more taxes than he will make and earn. He will earn. And let me put it. They don't count the $15 million. This is really what costing him. The $15 million he get in bonus on his salary. The winning players get about $180,000 for winning the Super Bowl, and he's going to pay almost $200,000 in taxes because the California jock tax law, and is on duty days, and he's going to get charged like 8 duty days. He's been in California for about 8 days, and they get charged, and he can end up paying in taxes almost $197,000, close to $200,000, and only getting $178,000. So he's losing by winning when it comes to that. So he's not even going to see any of his Super Bowl bonus, what you call it, the winner's share. The losers get like $103,000. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Boy, I don't know. So pitchers and catchers started reporting in today in baseball. That's exciting. So our final 15 is going to be on my Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers Live. They're going to talk a little bit on Dodger Thursdays and some things that happen as the pitchers and catchers roll in. And I'm excited about that. There's another thing that's been going on, too. And I think Naughty and I touched on it. Fellas, them take the noise about the NBA and the way they're talking about the NBA, where fellas are taking days off to rest. Y'all know when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I think, was either 39 or 40, played every game that year. 82 games. 82 games. And it was normal for a player to play 75 to 82 games or, over 70 games every year and only miss them because of some injury. Wasn't no time, no rest management, and you got to sit him today because, you got to play these other boys tomorrow. And since Lucas hurt and this one hurt, we can rest the rest of y'all because San Antonio can beat up on us anyway. No use putting your dead. No, and that's not fair. Because let's say I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan and I live in Los Angeles. And I'm excited that the Spurs are coming to town. Or let's reverse it. I'm an LA Laker fan. That's so I got a reason to be in San Antonio. I got a reason to be in LA. Probably got a reason to be there. And I can say, I'm going there next month or month after next. Let me get these tickets. I buy these expensive tickets, and then you don't play LeBron. You don't play Luka. You don't play Reeves. You don't play. No, man, I vexed. I want my money back. And that's what a lot of NBA teams are now doing. They say Utah are really tanking for that pick. The other day, they rested their two young stars for no reason. They're young, by 21 and 20, some young fellas. They don't need no rest like that. And so they could lose a game and keep their record intact to be in that lottery pick. That's not fair. That don't sound right the way he said that. It's not right. It's hurting the integrity of the league. It's making me not want to watch. Man, I ain't do them. I don't want to watch them. And I'll be honest with you, baseball's starting. And if the Lakers on the same time the Dodgers on, Pearlie will be watching the Dodgers. Get that? Let's know that much. The only way I may watch the Lakers if it's a playoff game. And I still can flip back and forth or do the split screen. The interest that I've had in the NBA is dying more and more every day. Every minute you look, everybody trying to put up a three-pointer. You don't see no pretty moves to the bucket, slam down. You see a couple here and there, but not the way we did in the 80s and the 90s. Not in the Dominique Wilkins and those guys' days, when Jordan would come down in the league, you blink, where do you come off that spin? No, we don't get that. All you get is everybody trying to be a three-point star. And mind, it was nice to see when a fella take a long three-point and whoosh, bottom of the nets. That's nice to see. But I want to see some moves. I want to see a crossover. When Iverson brought that crossover and people started doing that, that's something to see. Fake left, move right, go left. They like that. You don't have that anymore. What you say, caller?
But that beating with OKC put on y'all last night, I don't want to watch a Dodgers game myself, too. You better open Dodgers game on tonight, too, because y'all got the Dallas Mavericks. So you better open game on, because that's another beating again.
No, I think if he play me, he may be able to beat the Mavericks.
Hey, Cooper, then Cooper Fly go too.
Oh, he's out. What's wrong with him?
Y'all might get luck out something.
What's wrong with him?
Foot injury.
Oh, okay. So they call it now.
Yeah. So they call it. But when we win last night, BJ them get blowed, man. BJ them must be beat by 40 points or so.
Well, the Knicks is all over them.
Yeah, it was all over them, but the Knicks is killing them.
They get beat by almost 50 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They got beat bad. He was off bad too, but he wasn't hitting nothing. Them trees wasn't dropping for him. He's missing them little 5-footers and things and then layups. Wow. He wasn't looking good at all. And Embiid was out.
Yeah, he only had 14 points. Embiid didn't play at all. Embiid didn't play at all last night.
That's why I didn't even make it work.
He's got right knee management. Means he could have played.
Yeah, then I see him resting, what you talking about and everything.
Yeah, but Maxey had 32 points last night, but I guess
Maxey was, Maxey always could be hot. Maxey always could be getting on.
Joel had a good game last night.
Yeah. But I really only want to see the slam dunk and the 3-point for real tomorrow night.
But I don't even know if I might watch it. Watching the highlights of it is fine with me, because I get to see all the good dunks.
Yeah. But Freddie, now, we got to talk with the 5 first down and 3/4, 7.5 sack, the sack fumble, number 7, running back in, and everything. Like you said, it really was embarrassing. They get embarrassed.
They did not look good at all. They looked like a team that They look like a fourth place team.
Right.
You know, and I hate to say it, and I got some nice, decent nephews and cousins out there who are former Brady fans, but say they still New England fans. Tell me I being a hater, but I just being real. They look bad.
Mom, but you was real. They win 10 straight, babe. But to get there, only because they're bonus to gone down. And they ain't do nothing in that game anymore, man. Give them a touchdown, fumble it inside the 15.
Yep.
They do not. They had one field goal.
Their defense is stellar. Credit due. They held Seattle to what, 4 field goals? Shut them down. Did Seattle move the ball and when they get to it in the red zone, shut them down. I give that defense credit. But there's now doubts, but there's all kind of different talks out there now. But once you lose, them sportscasters can find what's wrong with you. They can find out what's wrong with you.
Yeah, he's then trying to say that shoulder wasn't feeling right from before the game started, but that just don't put a beat down. That just is a beating, man. That's just a crazy defense, man. That defense, that just was crazy. That wasn't giving up nothing.
They weren't.
They had 78 yards and 3/4 on the ground. Man, come on.
You know what my son was saying every time he says it was the first down play, they would go 7 yards, 8 yards, and say, that's it. Watch him get shut down now. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's all you saw there. It was terrible. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, not to take away from Seattle now. Seattle is the best defense in football. I've said that. Snad boy. I've said that. They're pretty much the most well-rounded team in football. And I didn't pick them to go there. I picked the Rams.
Yeah.
I picked the Rams, but in the last few weeks of the season, the Seahawks caught my attention.
Right there, man. The 7 for 3 and outs on a row. The fumble, like they say, the one on the ground. The one where number 7 catch it out there, run it back. Hey, number 76 that make me laugh, but trying to catch him. He looks so guilty. I said, where he going, but you can't catch him, but.
And guess what? 20 years ago, that same player might have been able to make that run because he would have been a lot bigger, a lot slower. But now these guys bigger, stronger, and faster.
Right. Yeah, man.
But Muff, you good though. Good to hear your voice, brother.
I guess, dodgy game tonight. So
no. They don't start till next week, the 23rd, I think the first game is.
Hey, ain't no 3-peat, no Burley. Don't get that in your head, man. Don't tell it in your head up, ain't no 3-peat. Ain't nothing happening.
Muff, if the Dodgers stay healthy, nobody can beat them. Nobody can beat them.
Hey, the Marlins, man. I go on.
You know what? We need to seriously consider going to the Dodgers Marlins game. We can talk about that.
Okay, that's all good.
All right, brother.
We got VJ. March right there in Miami too.
Yeah,
that's a good one to go to too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, brother. Text says here, the Sam Donald tax example is the same reason why the Bahamas needs to make the wealth more common for all. F&M and PLPs are guilty for not providing stability in the working class where people can feed their families. Every one of the aspiring should fly down to PM Mortley and sit at her feet and learn from her. I am so happy you brought that up, Texter. We can get to that in a minute. Let me take this call, and we can talk about the Barbados general elections, because I found something very interesting about that election. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Now, Sparky don't normally call on the sports talk, but I could call this time.
What do you say, my brother? What do you say, brother? What you saying?
Boy, the other day, when Bahamian NBA star with Tree Ring gone and get himself involved in politics now,
yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And the opposition put him in Garden Hills, right?
That's where you live. That's your area, hey?
No. I live in Pride Estate.
Oh, okay.
I got Pride to live in Pride.
I got you.
But
Okay.
Pride Estate is part of Garden Hills.
That's what I mean. That's your constituency.
They never mentioned Pride Estate. They already Garden Hills 1 and Garden Hills 2.
Okay, all right. You live in Pride Estate, which is a part of the Garden Hills constituency. There we go.
Right. That's the point I'm driving home, right?
Okay, I got you.
So what I'm saying, the last time the MP for this area used to always be run by Sparky in Pride Estate, soliciting my doggone help to help him get elected. He got elected. Didn't lose one polling division. Me and my neighbor, we motorcade. I raised hell with minutes and things.
Now, you're talking politics on my sports, but I can let you go through this quick. Go quick now.
I'm getting into the sports now. But the other day, I home and this voice called me on my phone. Hello. I say, hello, sir. You know what this is? I say, no. He said, this Rick Fox. I say, no, come on, stop playing with me. He said, this Rick Fox. Sparky, this Rick Fox. I say, but you don't know me. He says, Sparky, I am on the way to Pride Estate to come to meet you. They tell me you got to meet Sparky.
Okay.
When I look, when entourage of cars pulled through my yard, the last SUV pull up the white one, there jumps out Rick Fox, walking across the road to my house to pick up Juju and things.
Okay.
He shake my hand, he say, Sparky, you a celebrity? I say, I might be a celebrity, but you was a 3-time three-ring NBA champion.
Lakers.
Lakers. I say NBA
Yeah, but I just had to put Lakers in there so we know which team.
But I know when he was a Boston Celtic player.
Yes.
Because I've been a Boston Celtic from John Havlicek and Bill Russell all my life.
Okay, I got you. All right.
I know when he moved to the Lake, he said, you mad if I moved to the Lake? I say, you got 3 rings, but I got me bad for. But you shake my hand, he says, Sparky, I won't go in the park with you, take a picture with you by the flag you fix up. I say, okay, boy, all us going around there, everybody, neighbors coming out to shake the man hand.
Okay.
Taking pictures with Rick Fox and Pride Estate.
There you go.
We ain't seen Mario Boleg in 4 years in Pride Estate.
Okay, so come.
They ain't seen him.
So
now
come.
everybody mad at me. My PLP card paid up till the end of this year and next year.
Okay.
I'm a PLP.
Yeah.
Okay? But now they're rowing because I shaken a F&M world champion 3-ring Bahamian all-star basketball legend. They mad at me. I can't sit with the opposition, listen to his point of view, what he planned to do with Gardeners. I only must listen to Mario Boleg.
I hear
I'm
that.
74 years old. I got a constitutional right to vote
There you
in
go.
this country.
You got a point there. But Sparky got to go. The producer, hear the music. Tell me I got to take a break. I appreciate your call, Sparky. Pearly, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Talking Heads. Sparky did a good job of taking politics into sports today, but we can talk about some more sports when we get back.
Hungry? Well, Burger King Nassau is turning up the flavor at a great price. The King Meal Deals give you big taste, value, and options for just $5.50, including that. Love that BK Flame Grilled Beef? Grab a Rodeo Burger Jr. served with crispy fries and a drink. Or if you like chicken, go for the Rodeo Crispy Chicken Jr. or the 6-piece Nugget Meal, also with fries and a drink. One price, tons of choices, and flavor that hits every time. The King Meal Deals are only $5.50 at Burger King Nassau, where taste is on fire.
In today's market, merchants shouldn't have to choose between the high fees of cards or the security risk of physical cash. SandDollar provides the ultimate hybrid solution, the instant settlement of a cash transaction paired with the seamless digital convenience of a card. By integrating SandDollar into your checkout, you're choosing a local high-efficiency system that eliminates the friction of exact change and the uncertainty of bank delays. It's the sophisticated choice for a modern Bahamian entrepreneur looking to optimize their daily operations. Join the future of local commerce today. SandDollar.
For over half a century, Hongxi has been reserved only for heads of state and world leaders. It wasn't just a car, it was a privilege. Easy Car Sales is proud to bring that distinguished heritage to the Bahamas. A new era in luxury electric, rooted in absolute prestige. It's for the few who demand freedom from the gas pump and first-class craftsmanship. Visit Easy Car Sales to see if you're ready for a taste of royalty.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
And we're back. Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Like I said, we got a wonderful Final 15. Dodgers live. We can talk, getting into baseball season now. Today's the pitchers and catchers are back. This is the kickoff for spring training. So we're going to start the spring training off with a short Final 15 with us. Dodgers Live. It's interesting to talk about spring training and talk about the pitches and some moves that the Dodgers made. It was interesting that people tried to compare with Sam Darnold going to what we're going to down here and made a comment by Mia Motley in Barbados. Congratulations. You won 30 out of 30 seats again. total clean sweep. But there's one concern that I see in Barbados: 38% voter turnout. Or the 200,000 voters, 120 or some, a whole bunch of them did not vote. And that's not a very good sign. All right, so moving right on. I see Deion Sanders in making the news, one of his former tight ends ripping him. I don't know about that. We can stay away from that one for the minute. But people are still talking about the way Drake May perform at the Super Bowl. I heard one story saying that he missed a lot of open men. He did not see them, did not see them. He didn't go through his progressions good. And progressions is when you pull back the pass, you have the first option, the second option. So you look at your first, you look at your second, you look at your third, and you make a decision. That's going through your progressions. Shall I throw it here? Shall I throw it there? Shall I throw it there? And then you make it. But he didn't go through his progressions well. So that, they're gonna talk about it a whole lot moving forward. Talk about what didn't happen in the Super Bowl. Talk about what could have happened. Will the Patriots be back there next year? I don't see the defense getting any worse. Probably get better. But there's a concern in Seattle. They may be a one-hit wonder. They may just be a one-hit wonder based on their salary. Some salary hits they got. I think they're about $69-70 million over the salary cap. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that, how they restructure some contracts. Do they have to cut some players? Will they weaken their team? So we're going to see what's going on there. All right. They're gonna have to make some adjustments. It's going to be quite a few adjustments they're going to have to make. So over the next month, I think the 13th of March is when free agency starts. So you'll see some movements then. People got to get their salary caps at a certain level by a certain time. There's going to be an increase in the salary cap by $22 million. So it's going to be around $305 million they can spend. But some teams are already over that. So like the Dolphins are already over that. So the Dolphins going to probably come down to about $10 million, like to $315 or something like that. And then they're going to have to do some things. They can't cut Tua yet. So get it in your head. If he stays on the Dolphins, he's a $51 million salary hit. If we cut him now, he's a $99 million salary hit. If we cut him June 2nd, he'll be a $67 million salary cap. So salary cap it, and then 30-some million the next year. So that's a decision that the Dolphins have to make, unless they can trade him. If they can pick up a team that is willing to trade for him, then that'll work out a lot. Pearlie, you was going to talk about, I just talked about how the voter apathy is very, very, very strong, very worrisome in Barbados. 62% voters stayed home. That's a lot. So when you get, somebody said, when you get 38% of the 38% voter turnout and you get majority of that, that's not a mandate. But it is what it is. So hopefully the Bahamas, we have been a country that has been privileged of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, freedom to vote. And we've always had a 90+%, 89, 90, 91% voter turnout. It's great in our country. And last election was a 60-some% voter turnout. That's not good. And I don't want you to say, nothing get changed, don't give me that crap, because then if you don't vote, don't have nothing to say. Whatever happened, you accept. If whatever happened, you accept because you did not vote. And as simple as that. You have a right to vote, and you should go out and vote. I ain't telling you how to vote. I won't tell you how to vote, but I ain't going to tell you how to vote. Just go and vote. Take the time out and in for your country and vote, because you live here. And if you don't want to see your country overrun and taken over by who you don't want it to be overrun by and taken over by, then you better vote. That gives you the right to rout, to fuss, to criticize, everything. If you don't vote, you don't have that right. But you could say to me and you ain't vote. All the PLP ain't do this, all the FNM ain't do that. But you could say to me, no, you ain't vote. Don't want to hear your mouth. But if you vote, then I have to listen to your mouth. I have to hear what you got to say. So please vote. I digress. Got right out of sports, right into that. And that's something that's very dear to me, people. I believe in democracy. I believe in the practice of elections. While I believe in I only believe in a two-party system. That's a different discussion. But I believe in you getting out to vote. Okay? Now, a lot of things going to be going over the next few weeks in baseball. Fellas, there's a lot of players, key players are hurt. Dodgers, Blake Snell will not be ready for the beginning of the season because the season went so long for him that his rest period ate into his revitalization period or his ramping up period. So now he's ramping up slower. So when I say ramping up, building up his training and building up his endurance and all that is taking a little longer. So now he's going to start the season a little late. I don't mind that. You got a lot of young pitchers who could carry the load till he's ready. That don't bother me. Like you say, that don't bother me tall. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Saw some predictions today about who they feel is going to be. The Dodgers are hands-on favorites. Let's get that right. Keeping a healthy team their favorite. But what I found interesting, the second favorite team to win the World Series is Seattle Mariners. They've been, and using Naughty's words, quietly building a team out there on the West Coast to try make sports 2026 the year for Seattle. Detroit Tigers have done some things. They lost the arbitration case with Skubal, so they got to pay Skubal $32 million. Ooh, boy. But they signed Justin Verlander to a 1-year contract. Which is he brings that veteran leadership. Ain't gonna be no stopper now. Ain't gonna be no ace. That thing that passed with him. But he's gonna do some things that are gonna help the Detroit Tigers be a challenger. I like what the Boston Red Sox have done. And they probably got the best pitching staff in the East. In the American League, probably. I know in the Eastern Division, they probably have the best pitching staff. They've done some good things. All right, so that'll be interesting to see. Toronto outspend the Dodgers this offseason. Let's get to that out there because you always say the Dodgers spend up all the money. Toronto spend more money than anybody else. So I look for them to be in the hunt again. I didn't say I look for them to be in the World Series again. I said I look for them to be in the hunt again. You can't count out the Yankees. You cannot count the Yankees out. Now, there's some teams out there who's spending some money, but I don't think can go anywhere. Chicago White Sox, they got Maramoto. Anyway, the Japanese third baseman sensation, the slugger. And then they made one or two other little moves to enhance their team. So they're going to be competitive. They're not going to lose as many games, but I don't see them going anywhere this year because they still got some pitching issues. But I like what Detroit has done with their pitching staff. I like what Detroit is putting on the field. I like what the Mariners are putting on the field. You can't sleep on Kansas City. I just don't know if they have enough depth. But they got a good young team that will challenge, that will play some good baseball. The Padres will be there and challenging. A lot of people are counting the Phillies out in the East. I'll come back to the Padres. A lot of people are counting the Phillies out in the East and thinking the Mets is the team to beat in the National League East. I will not count out the Phillies because I think they got a solid veteran team. Do they have enough depth if they can stay healthy? The Braves, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from the Braves this year. I have no clue. The Cubs will be a very good team. They'll be a very good team, but you never count on Milwaukee. Milwaukee never spend money, but they always find a way to win that division or be in the money. St. Louis still got a lot of work to do. Still got a whole lot of work to do. A whole lot of work to do. The Giants, they spent some money. They might do some things. The Padres will be in the money. They still got Manny Machado. The Mets, once Francisco Lindor got hurt, a deep hamstring bone or some hamstring something. You have surgery on it to repair it. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks, so we probably won't see him till the middle of April, which is not bad. He probably missed 10, 15 games, if that many. Probably take him about 30 games, so maybe he won't be effective for the first 30, 40 games of the season. 162 games to go, so, you know. So that's a concern for the Mets. But I think he either had the surgery today or having it tomorrow. But he's a tough kid. He has played under a lot of injury, lower back pains last year and some other pains, the finger, and he played through the pain. So as long as he gets this fixed, I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. The Mets gonna have a good team. Can they handle the pressure? Time will tell. Because there's two pressures for the Mets. There's the New York City pressure of having to win. It's the New York Mets versus New York Yankees pressure and having to win. And then there's the shadow of the Los Angeles Dodgers having to win. So I'm excited about that. As Arizona Diamondbacks, we'll probably come last. I don't see them doing too much. I really don't. I'm trying to think who else out there to talk about. Who out there is a possible potential challenge. Okay, and they're not a lot of. They're not. Okay, so Oakland, they're not. The Athletics are going to go as the Athletics only again one more year. I think they move next year. Okay. The Cincinnati Reds. The Bahamas used to be a strong Cincinnati Red. You know, Adam Bristol, Ambry and Bristol, God rest his soul, played for the Cincinnati Reds and played in the 1975 World Series where he dropped down a controversial bunt, which was seen in the opening credits of World Series for many years. So a lot of behemoths pulled for Cincinnati because of Ambry, or Ed, and Bristol, but Ambry we affectionately call him. So I don't know. They got this shortstop that's probably going to end up being a Dodger at the end of the day. All right, like I thought, the Rockies will probably be the last place team. They're not happening. Kansas City will be a challenging team. The Angels, middle of the road team. They'll be a middle of the road team. Like I said, Milwaukee, you can never count them out. Padres, Giants, Mariners, Rangers will be a decent team as well this year. A decent team. The jury for me gonna be out on the Baltimore Orioles. I gotta look at them a little more because I got a particular caller who gonna ask me about them, but don't call me yet. I can look out for them, and I can be able to talk a little more about them later. Red Sox did some good work. Detroit, Astros was the team. Okay, they can win that division. Cheaters. They can win that division. They can win that division. I don't know so much this time. A lot of teams have caught up with them. They're an older team. A lot of teams have caught up with them. A lot of teams. And then I don't never count on the Tampa Bay Rays to be challenging and the Washington Nationals to be challenging. So baseball is going to be kind of cool. Season starts the 25th of March. There's a break on the 5th of March, and I think the 12th or a little later for the World Baseball Classic, which is going to be super exciting. That's where all the major league players and some minor league players play for their own countries. There are 7 behemoths playing with Great Britain. So keep a watch of that. I'll start my Fitch. I'll keep you more abreast of what's going on with that. But Josh Chisholm, Lucius Fox, the Robinson kid out of Arizona, they all playing. These are some of our better players. So excited about BJ Murray is playing. So it's going to be some great stuff to see behemoths playing for Great Britain. So let's keep paying attention to that. All right, but let's get to the picks because we already had a couple minutes. There's only 3 NBA games tonight. So you got the 7:30 game, the Milwaukee Bucks at the OKC Thunder. OKC's 11.5-point favorites. Boy, he's out. SJA is still out. The Greek Freak is out. Thunder don't look like they're missing a beat with their style out. I'm going to take the Thunder the points tonight. Portland Trailblazers at the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz trying to lose to everything. So I take Portland under points tonight. And then the final game, the Dallas Mavericks at the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers are 6.5-point favorites. Flag is out. Doncic's out. Ayton out, but look like LeBron and Reeves can play tonight. I'll take the Lakers in the 6.5 points. There you have it. Thank you so much for the calls, the texts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. This has been Pearly, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Talking Heads on a Thursday afternoon. Stay in for right after the break. Dodger Live, we can talk a little bit about the Dodgers just to kick off the baseball season. Take care, everybody. See you next time.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled chicken and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you want to look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, want to step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place, is your place.
The fried chicken experts are back with a brand new way to enjoy your favorite sandwich. Introducing the Wrap Star. Crunch into the Wrap Star, full of flavor and wrapped in a warm grilled tortilla for that perfect crunchy bite. A classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Naughty back at you with my free pick of the day, brought to you by the Island Game. Today is Thursday, and my free pick comes to you from NCAA Women's College Basketball. The number 8 ranked Michigan Wolverines on the road taking on Northwestern. I like Michigan minus 8.5 over Northwestern. That's my free pick of the day, Michigan minus 8.5. Play it and win with the Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust. And the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly.
Well, as we get closer to the opening of spring training for pitchers and catchers, the Dodgers said hello to an old friend. What's up, everybody? I'm Jim Rodriguez, and welcome to the Thursday here on Dodgers Latest. So happy that you're with us. Yeah, man, we are one day away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training for the Dodgers in Camelback Ranch. I'm sure you've seen all the videos. Some of the other teams have had pitchers and catchers reporting, the Cubs, the Royals, lots of teams. The Orioles have had people there. But the Dodgers will have their pitchers and catchers opening up the door for them on Friday. And, of course, the 17th will be the full squad, and then we're in business starting on the 21st as spring training gets underway. And, of course, when I remind you, you can always hit me up right there on Instagram and on X at JRod Show. So many great comments. Loved the interaction with you. Please keep them coming, especially here on our YouTube page where you can like, subscribe, share, tell everybody, hit those thumbs up, make that algorithm do its thing. And, of course, we're going to be sharing your comments because you're the very best part here on Dodgers Latest. So, the Dodgers went out and signed. It seems like there's always one pitcher or one player that's on the injured list that they go out and get, kind of a reclamation project. And our old friend Evan Phillips is back. The Dodgers end up signing the reliever, the closer, 1 year, $6.5 million contract. And I had to laugh because he actually got a raise. Last year, he made $6.1 million. Of course, he ended up having Tommy John surgery in June of 2025, and he's probably not going to be with the ball club on the mound until after the All-Star break. So the Dodgers have signed him and will probably put him on the 60-day IL and to make room for him on the roster. Now, man, Ben Rortvedt got designated for assignment again. I mean, it's crazy. The Dodgers signed him. They DFA'd him. The Reds picked him up. Then the Reds DFA'd him. Then the Dodgers picked him up. And now he is back out on the market. Now the Dodgers are hoping that he will clear waivers and will end up in the Dodgers minor league system. He's making $1.2 million. So, we'll see if that's too rich for some teams. But for Evan Phillips, man, he, his best year as a Dodger was 2023 at 24 saves, ERA at 2.05. And in his Dodger career, he's got 45 saves. This is from 2021 through 2025 when the Dodgers got him from Tampa Bay. 2.22 ERA with 45 saves in his Dodger career. And I'll tell you what, he was the closer. Edwin Diaz has taken his spot, of course. Tanner Scott took his spot last year. And I think Evan Phillips is going to be a great addition in the middle of the season because, again, we don't expect him to be back until after the All-Star break. So the Dodgers will put him on the 60-day IL, and this is important because once the Dodgers open up camp to pitchers and catchers, then the 60-day injured list becomes available. So what will probably happen is now that he's under contract, soon as Friday happens, they'll put him on the 60-day IL, which will then clear up another roster spot, and maybe that roster spot will belong to Kike Hernandez. That seems to be the big rumor that the Dodgers will sign Kike. The Dodgers will put Kike on the 60-day IL. Remember, he had elbow surgery and will probably not be available till beginning of June. So the Dodgers, again, the Dodgers have mastered this skill of the marathon, not the sprint. It's amazing what they've done. I think more than any other team, I think they've figured it out. And last year was proof of concept, Blake Snell missed 4 months. Tyler Glasnow missed some time. They were able to move pieces around because they know it's a 162 game season. So they know that, hey, we got Evan Phillips. Not going to be ready till after the All-Star break. That's cool. We've got this surplus of pitchers, and now we can look at other guys to see if they're going to be having the mettle to be able to pitch and perform in the postseason. Obviously, Anthony Banda has been released. Maybe they bring Banda back once they put Kike and Evan Phillips on the IL. Not sure how that works, but it'll be interesting to see now as the Dodgers have brought Evan Phillips back. And again, these are moves that were expected. They weren't big shockers. The Dodgers really love Evan Phillips. He's one of the greats. He's one of the great personalities, one of the great people in that clubhouse. So there was definitely a big rumor, a big feeling that they would bring him back. And indeed, and again, he's just going to be reinforcements because, as we know, especially with pitchers, it's not about if you get hurt, it's when you get hurt. And so the Dodgers have managed to have this incredible surplus, both of starters and relievers, and guys who can do multi things. And that is, I guess that's the one thing that's been the the calling card of Andrew Friedman and this Dodgers administration is being able to have players who can do multiple things, like Swiss Army knives, like a Miguel Rojas, who can play, pretty much anywhere in the infield. Kike Hernandez, who can play infield and outfield. Guys who can play first and third. Mookie Betts is another perfect example. He's at that superstar level. The Dodgers have a great mix of guys, and that's what really interests them. And they've been able to get these reclamation projects, through the years, because they've been able to find this great amount of talent and not afraid to say, hey, we will spend the money, put you on the injured list, and we'll see you when you're ready. And for Evan Phillips, that's going to be probably post-All-Star break as he is making his return to the Dodgers. And how about that? He got himself a little raise. Good for him. Now, one of the things we talked about yesterday was, the storylines of the spring. We talked a little bit about starting pitching. We talked about Blake Snell. We talked about Roki Sasaki, and we talked about the bullpen. Well, today, I kind of want to figure on three guys that I think are really going to have all eyes on them this spring in Glendale, Arizona. And that's Andy Pages, Ha-Seong Kim, and Dalton Rushing. The first one, Andy Pages, listen, he turned down playing for Cuba in the World Baseball Classic because he wants to focus on being the everyday center fielder. And that looks like it's going to be his position right now, right? You're going to have Teoscar Hernandez in left, you're going to have Kyle Tucker in right, and Andy in center field. And listen, he had such an up and down roller coaster year, right? Beginning of the season just didn't seem like he was doing anything right, throwing the wrong bases, but not being aggressive on the base path, striking out a lot. Then he kind of came into his own, still ended up hitting 27 home runs, hit 272, had 27 doubles, had a nice, high 2020 season, but then the wheels came off. The roof caved in the playoffs, going 4 for 51. That's 0.78 in the playoffs. And of course, for the Dodgers, that sounded some alarms. And you can be patient with Andy Pages. He's 25 years old. He's going to be 25, and he's under team control through 2031. So there's the ability of patience. We've seen that he can sort of tick close to that 30 home run mark. And boy, you talk about an outfield of Hernandez, Pages, and Tucker that could possibly get you 100 home runs. Yikes. So you can afford to be a little patient. And of course, I think he will forever be known in Dodger history for making that catch in Game 7 of the World Series, right, when he did it over Kike Hernandez. So I think there's a lot of grace towards Andy Pages, but there's a lot of hungry players who want to play for the world champs, the two-time defending world champs. So I think I kind of appreciate him saying, hey, listen, I'm going to focus on being the Dodger center fielder, nothing else, no World Baseball Classic, nothing like that, ready to roll. So that's going to be a big season for Andy Pages. Another one is Ha-Seong Kim, who is probably going to be the second baseman if Tommy Edman's ankle doesn't allow him. Now, everything we're hearing is Tommy Edman's ankle is progressing. As Andrew Friedman likes to say, the arrow's pointing up. But Ha-Seong Kim's a guy that, for some reason, just hasn't been given the opportunity by the Dodgers. He hit 280 last year, had 13 stolen bases in 71 games, but really just never seemed to be in the good graces. Came in as a pinch runner, did focus and feature himself in the playoffs. He scored the game-winning run when that Andy Pages hit against the Phillies in the division series. But I think for the Dodgers that you want to see what he's got, right? He's making $4 million. We talked about this. And again, at the end of the day, these are all things you want to figure out, because if these guys don't have a role on your team, then now they become trade bait, whether it's Skubal down the road, whether it's, Stephen Kwan, whether it's something that you're in the works that we haven't even thought about yet, because we know more names will come up during the season. You want to be able to show these guys so they're tradable. So Ha-Seong Kim's a big guy that I think the Dodgers should be playing him more especially if Tommy Edman doesn't get that role. Obviously, you got Miguel Rojas as well. Muncie's going to need some time off. Mookie's going to need some time off at shortstop every once in a while. And, of course, that revolving door that is second base. And the last one that I'm really keying in on is Dalton Rushing. Now, he's going to be the backup catcher. And, we were kind of thinking, well, maybe Ben Rortford was going to push him a little bit to be the backup. Well, that doesn't appear to be the case. I think Ben Rortford, they're going to keep him in the minor leagues. Hopefully he clears waivers, stays with the Dodgers. I hope the guy gets a major league job, but he's got his $1.2 million guaranteed contract this year, whether he's in the minors or the major leagues. So, but for Dalton Rushing, he just did not take to being a backup. And I get it. I get it. When you've been a starter your whole career, when you've been the best player on your teams, when you've been the number one prospect, and all of a sudden you get called up to the big leagues. First of all, you're facing big league pitching. Second of all, now you got to sit down because you're not going to play behind Will Smith. You're not going to play. You're not going to play ahead of Will Smith. You're not going to play ahead of Freddie Freeman, and you're not going to play ahead of anybody in that outfield. And then when he got his opportunity, he struggled. And he got hurt. He ended up hitting 204, 4 homers and 142 at-bats, but only got 1 at-bat in the postseason. Now, I think that was a combination of Ben Rortford was doing really well early on in the postseason, and then Will Smith came back healthy, and then Will Smith was never going to give up the reins of being the starting catcher. So I think Dalton Rushing is going to be a very interesting guy to see how he sort of performs mentally and physically out on the field, especially a guy that's not going to play every day. Now, they could mix him up. Maybe he'll give Freddie Freeman a day off at first base. He'll give Will Smith a day off behind the plate. Will they be tempted to play him in the outfield? Probably not, now that they've got Teoscar squared away out in left field. But I think it's going to be a big season. And again, if these guys don't work out here, now there's an opportunity of trading them and moving them around to try to get better and get these guys ultimately the opportunity to grow as big leaguers. So those are the big 3 guys that I'm going to be really keeping an eye on during the spring. And of course, we always keep an eye on you and your comments here on Dodgers Latest. We always invite you to hit us up. Of course, you can hit me up on Instagram and on X at JRod Show. And of course, we love your commentaries here on the YouTube page. We love the interactions you have with each other. I read every single comment, try to respond to as many as I can. And we talked about Blake Snell, right? How he said, hey, his arm feels tired and exhausted and may not be ready for opening day. And huge concern if our so-called second best pitcher, behind Yamamoto, of course, has a tired arm after only pitching 95 innings. That's regular season and postseason combined. We don't need a pitcher who can't play on a regular basis. And considering what they're paying him, but when you look at the results, and I think that's what the Dodgers have been able to figure out. They say, listen, we know Tyler Glasnow isn't going to make 30 starts. We know Blake Snell isn't going to make 30 starts. That's why we have 7 other starters. So instead of pushing these guys during the regular season, you let them rest. And then come the postseason, then you put your foot down. And we saw how great Blake Snell was. How great he was in the division series, the LDS, and of course in the league championship series against the Brewers. It's a formula that works. It's an expensive formula, but it works. And if you have the assets, and the Dodgers have, Emmett Sheehan and Robleski and the kids Ryan and Grove, yeah, man, you're blessed and you're able to do that sort of maneuvering around. Here's a big one for you. I can definitely see opportunities for River Ryan and Gavin Stone, especially early in the year. I think the Dodgers give Snell plenty of time to get ready, and the same for Yamamoto, coming off a great World Series and whatever he does in the World Baseball Classic. I think they'll take it very easy with Ohtani early on, and we know about Glasnow's injury. Yeah, exactly what we were talking about. Sasaki, Ryan, Stone, Robleski, Dreyer, Kasparius could all get some runway early on. And, of course, this one, I'm calling it now, Sheehan comes through and becomes the horse of the staff early on in the year. Yeah, Emmett Sheehan, he's kind of been a mystery guy. He's looked good, but then he's looked completely awful. And I guess that's where the inconsistency comes from, right? I think he's looked good as a reliever. He's looked at times good as a starter. But again, as usually what happens with these kids, After 3 or 4 innings, the second time around, that's when everybody catches up to him. So it'll be interesting to see what all these guys want to do. Because listen, they are hungry. They want to show that they belong in the big leagues and they belong on a big league roster. And of course, that means the big money as well. And of course, we talked about at the beginning that it looks like now that Evan Phillips is signed, he'll be transferred to the 60-day IL, which will open up a roster spot. That means maybe Kike Hernandez gets signed. Of course, they'll have to move him to the 60-day IL. So it looks like Kike's coming back. And we talk about such an important guy he is on the team. Kike October is for real, is real for sure. So I like having him on the team. It's just too bad he's just mediocre during the regular season. Gotta love Kike, though, as I don't see how we'd made it to the World Series without him. P.S. Love the show. Well, all right, my man. I appreciate that. Guys, we're showing a lot of love to the program, man. We're here for you. We're having a good time, and we love the interaction with you guys. Yeah, man. Kike, 92 playoff games as a Dodger. No one's played more playoff games than Kike Hernandez in a Dodger uniform. He's got 11 home runs in the postseason as a Dodger, and he is Senior October, right?